Good morning. This is Dan Ringwald with National Home Buyers LLC.com and National Home Buyers Investors Group NHBig.com, and it is Saturday, November 14th, 2014, and we have another beautiful day in paradise here in Santa Barbara. The skies are looking like they do in the picture here. You'll see the picture of Fess Parker Doubletree Resort, and this is where we have our real estate meetings here in Santa Barbara through the Santa Barbara REIA, R-E-I-A, so Santa Barbara REIA, REIA.com, and once a month we are in this building here on the third floor. You can see this is street level down here. You get up to the round patio here, and right in these windows here we just walk right out through that glass doors to the patio, drink a little wine, have a little food, and enjoy the company of our friends and new people that we haven't met before that we get to meet, all the networking options and possibilities that go along with that. Great venue, great place. The beach and harbor is just right across the street, so you can stand here, on this patio and overlook the ocean, islands, and all that. People are just loving this as a place to come and have these meetings, and so that's Fess Parker Doubletree Resort. If you are an investor or anybody involved in real estate and looking at this from outside of Santa Barbara, some other city or some other state, you consider going here and having a business/vacation, and then write the whole thing off, spend a day or two, enjoy it, learn something, get some good contacts, some good networking, and set things up to make some money. Because in the process of helping people out, there is a lot of money to be made. So we are going to talk today a little bit about Podio. So this is NHBig Podio training today, and we meet here every Saturday online from 11 to 12, and we do have some Saturdays off. If you go to our link here, and let's go take a quick look at the link. Let's see here. We're going to go over to this, and this is the link that you got in here, and you'll notice that we have the date here, 12/13, but you also notice if it says, if the date below is old and no meetings are scheduled, that's it. If I have something going on and can't make a Saturday meeting, I've actually forgot some and just didn't show up myself. Bad on me, huh? But it happens. This is where you'd find out whether or not we're going to have a meeting. And so you just click on the link down here and join the meeting, and you are in. So we are looking at, let's see here, this, and it looks like we got somebody coming online, it sounds like. Let's take a look and see who we got here. It looks like Manny Angeles. How you doing?
Yo, what's up, Dan? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just been kind of busy with finals, but I'm gonna be done this Thursday, so after that I'll be able to finish with my real estate endeavors.
Well, that sounds great. We're recording this live right now. We've got Manuel Angeles, and whereabouts are you located? Down in the LA area?
No, I'm right here actually in Isla Vista.
Oh, you're in Isla Vista. You're in Santa Barbara. You're going to UCSB or City College?
Yeah, I'm at the SB, UC right here.
You're in UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so I'll finish my finals. I have 2 finals on Tuesday and then 1 on Thursday, and then I'm done.
Wow, you're doing the big stuff. Now, when you're done, are you out of school completely and heading out?
Yeah, I'll be moving back to LA, and then I should be working with like this commercial real estate.
Okay.
Company, yeah, so they want me to do like telemarketing, or I guess to set up appointments.
Well, I'll tell you, that is really good experience. I did not telemarketing as a job, but I worked for a guy by the name of Hubert Humphrey, who had a network marketing company, and he was doing mortgage business. And so it really gave me a good chance to see what it's like making the phone calls. And all these companies that are, real estate gurus, and they've got the training and all that stuff going on. And I asked them, what is the percentage of people who are successful and actually go out and do the business? And they say, oh, maybe 5%. And I say, well, what's the biggest stop? What's the biggest block from people getting out there and actually being successful in this business? And they all say the same thing. They say getting on the phone and talking to people scares them, and they just don't want to do it.
Yeah, especially like face-to-face also when it comes to network marketing.
Yeah, face-to-face is another one that's tough. So, if you work with this company that you're talking about for a while, that's really going to get you over that. And I don't think you have much of a fear anyway, because you're pretty good at getting on the phone. You're pretty good at talking with people. But it'll just give you a higher skill set in being able to deal with all this stuff, so that as you move on and don't spend as much time at that company anymore, you will take something with you that you can have the rest of your life, which is going to be really, really good training.
Yeah, definitely.
So UCSB, you know where Kerr Hall is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I told you in the past that I was there for 26 years and created a computer service organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a student of mine and I created ucsb.edu, the main campus website.
Uh-huh.
Great.
Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was great fun. It was a lot of fun doing that. And can you please send me the link? Oh, okay. So we've got Victor trying to find his way back to the link here for our meeting. So let me do this. Let me jump out of this that I've got on screen there for a moment and see if I can grab that link for Victor and get him onto this call. Here we go. So he needs this link right here. So we'll give him that, because we're using Hangouts for this, and that will get him on the meeting. Go to meeting link, and he will join us. He is actually on the meeting that we had for Socializing just a couple minutes ago for our 10 to 11 meeting. So we're recording this thing live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we do that every Saturday. We do 10 to 11, which is the marketing meeting for Socializing, and then we do the 11 to 12 real estate meeting every Saturday. And, we'll miss some Saturdays here and there, but it shows you, Victor is coming on. He's logging on now. And you can always see the date on here, whether we're going to have a meeting or not. And so he is on. So, Victor, you are on.
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Oh.
What's up, Victor?
Hey, what's up, Manny?
Good, good. You guys are on. Thank you both for joining. And Manny is pretty excited, Victor, to hear that we're doing some high-end stuff. Victor's landed a contract for $6.5 million in a property in San Francisco, which is going to yield us a $20,000 referral fee, right, Victor?
Nice.
Yeah, that's correct.
And Victor, tell me something.
Nice.
How difficult was it approaching this guy that had the $6.5 million property to talk to and to get him to be willing to move forward to signing the contract? Can you tell us a little something about that?
He was not too difficult to work with. Robert is a very nice guy. He has a lot of business going on, so, I know that time is precious for everyone, so I was just quick, right to the point, and to the numbers, and got exactly what he wanted. And then you drew up the contract, and now we're going to execute and get our buyer and close this deal.
That's right. And we've got a low-end property, which is a joint venture property that you and I are closing on, that you brought to me, in a $500 cash referral on that happening this coming week, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so we got that going. We got the high-end stuff he's doing, and you got about 3 or 4 high-end stuff going right now. And we've actually got another one going right now, which might close in, what do you think, the next 2 weeks, Victor?
Yeah, it should be something like that by the end of the year.
And that's a $5,000 referral fee. So, the thing about the low end is it's $500 for every joint venture, and those are, I'm saying $100,000 down to $20,000, and most of them are in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. So you get a flat fee of $500 for that. But once you get into the high flips, which takes no money out of anybody's pocket, because we even have the person we assign the contract to pay any kind of deposit and in escrow, which could be $100, could be $1,000. But when they start going for more than that, we just say no. And I like to keep it at $100 because, you know, they freak out when they first hear it. You know, even Robert said, you want me to let you tie this property up for $100? And I got back to him and said, well, actually, we're not tying it up. You're free. I'm putting right in my contract there at the bottom, additional, you know, terms that if you close in escrow on your property with another buyer before we close in escrow with you, this contract is void, meaning he has the total option to continue trying to sell it himself, try and close with somebody else himself. And so the price he pays for doing that, and I'm going to go ahead and put us all on mute here just so we don't have the noise in the background, but the price that he pays for, you know, that ability to continue marketing himself and doing whatever he wants, as long as he's not listing it with a realtor, because that's a real problem if he is, unless you get with the realtor and tell them you want to be able to sell it on your own as well, and you have to have that in your contract. But in any case, the price for him to be able to continue to market it himself is that he's going to sign a contract with us for $100, and he has to understand that our investors aren't going to want to come in. We got an investor right now that Victor and I are going to have to talk to about after we get off this call today, that is trying to get me to go back and sign that contract to have these people come in with a non-refundable $30,000 agreement to, you know, if it doesn't work, that he gets to keep the money, and he's still going to have the ability to go sell it with somebody else, you know, and find another buyer and drop us in a heartbeat. There's no investor in the world that would ever sign a contract like that. And so I'm going to have to explain to him the reason that we're asking $100 is because he can leave anytime he wants to. If he gets somebody else to sign it before we do, that's fine. If we're halfway through escrow and he still beats us, too bad, we lose. The most that investor would lose would be $100. Most investors would be willing to fork out $100 for that opportunity, but they're not going to fork out $1,000, and especially not $30,000 if they're going to risk losing it in a heartbeat. So, you know, we just have to get back, and I'll tell them, this is how it is. This is why it's so low. You know, take it or leave it. This is how we do business. So, you know, that's just the way it is. I'm going to unmute this for a moment here, and then, you know, Victor or Manny, you can jump in there. But that makes sense, doesn't it, Victor?
I totally agree.
Yeah. So, Victor, you do agree, and they don't understand that in the beginning, so that's something that we have to make clear to them right from the get-go, because that way they won't be freaking out so much. And we can modify these contracts, but the thing is, when we get to these high-end flips, we're not talking a flat fee of $500. We're talking something that's negotiable between us and each investor, and each investor will give us different amounts. In fact, we've got two investors right now. The guy that's doing the $5.6 million or $6.5 million has said he will pay the $20,000 referral fee and not even make our investor pay it. So all the stuff is negotiable. He's even offering some financing, owner financing. So that's why the fees that Victor and I are getting will change. They won't always be the same amount.
You know? That's nice. So how did you guys come across this property in San Francisco?
How'd you do that, Victor? Why don't you tell them?
Craigslist.
Craigslist.
Nice. Okay, definitely.
So
yeah, I just put up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell. You were going to say there, Manny. You just put a what?
Oh yeah, I just put out a gang of Craigslist ads for property locators in the places where we have the property list, you know, such as Contra Costa area.
Perfect.
So you know, we can have a bunch of people just looking for vacant homes over there.
Perfect. Now, you know, this is one of the reasons why it's good to be on these calls. Sure, you can get back to it at your leisure and see it and listen to it whenever you want to, but you can't do what Victor and Manny are doing right now, and that's talking to each other on these things. And this is a chance for you guys to network and start to learn some things, because I absolutely, once we get through with this call, encourage both Manny and Victor to talk to each other away from me, and let Victor be up for Manny saying, well, Victor, can I call you? Can I talk to you how you're doing this? Because, you know, I mean, Victor, you don't have to spend hours with Manny, but you can give him enough tips that would kind of help get Manny going. And, you know, the nation's big enough that there's not really a lot of competition between us. So Manny could talk to you, get a little bit more idea how you're being so successful in this business, Victor, and that would really, really be a big help for him, and also for you to be able to tell him about the marketing, socializing. You know, it seems like, oh yeah, 100 here, $100 there. It doesn't seem like very much, but when you look at it as a long-term business over a couple of years and it starts bringing in $6,000 a month, that's going to be real hard to say no to. So those are all encouraging things that you people can network on together and learn from each other besides just listening to me. Because, you know, when people listen to me or anybody like me, all they really think is, well, there's somebody who's successful, been doing this for 30 years, and all they're trying to do is get me to spend some money on some training, and none of this will really work for me. When you guys start talking to each other, and you have somebody like Victor who is being successful, who has learned, you know, how to do this business and move forward, it's going to be a real boost for anybody new coming in to learn from them and go, wow, this actually, it's really working, you're really getting this stuff. And when you see that, that's going to help motivate you and help keep you in the game and help move you forward. Wouldn't you say, guys? Let me unmute you here. You are unmuted.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Good, good. So
yeah, call me anytime, Manny. I can give you my number, you know, anytime I'm available.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. I truly appreciate that.
And I think that as you guys have your little go-to-meeting screen up there on the right-hand side, if you just kind of run your mouse over Victor's name, it will show you, well, I'm not sure if that's his email address. I've got HTML. It might be his viewer. I've got, if I put it over Manny's address, I can see Manny's email address.
Yeah, I'm typing in my info.
So that's another way for you guys to say, well, here's my phone number. You could text it in there for him, Victor, and he could see it.
Okay.
And that way he can get back.
Yeah, I just put in my email, my number.
Yeah, and so the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to get into, and I'll mute you guys here in a second, we're going to get it back over here to NHBig Coaching and talk about that. And in there, everybody has their information in there that can get back in touch with each other once they're on the once they're on the Podio. So before I move on to Podio and start talking about that, because you guys already know quite a bit about Podio, but I don't have a recording up there for people, and so for new people, I want to kind of go through the features of Podio today and give them a little bit of a rundown. Is there anything that you guys want to say before I move on to that about what you're doing?
I mean, in addition to Podio, I'm also using Maptive to kind of map out, visually see where I have all my leads at.
Okay,
and so it kind of helps me get a better way to you know, go about.
Okay.
You know where the properties are.
And is that mapout.com?
Maptive, M-A-P-T-I-V-E.
T-I-V-E, Maptive, M-A.
Oh, Maptive, T-I-V-E.
Okay, M-A-P-T-I-V.com.
Yeah, Maptive.
Maptive. Okay, interesting. I haven't seen that or heard that, so I'll check that out, and we'll add it to Podio as another resource for being able to kind of keep track of what we're doing here.
That's what I use to map out the leads from the vacant property, so I'll be able to, you know, map them out for the property locator, so they'd be able to see where they are in regards to the coordinates. Okay,
and you know, speaking of vacant properties,
I could email these maps to you too. They're pretty easy to make.
Okay, great. So speaking about vacant properties, I talked to one of the guys, what's his name, from Kent Clothier's business, you know, kentclothier.com, and he is going to line up a speaker for us in April so that we have somebody from Kent Clothier's office that's supplying us with all these vacant leads, and they're going to come out and talk in April at the Santa Barbara RIA, so that should be interesting. And of course, Victor will probably say, yeah, that's great, ho-hum, whatever, I'm doing better off of Craigslist anyway, and that's true. Craigslist is way, way better than most people give it credit for. And, you know, it's still good to have these leads from that we're getting from Kent Clothier. So, you know, a little bit of everything. The more resources we have, I think the better. And that's why it's good when you guys come up with things like Maptive.com and different things, you let me know so I can add that to our Podio, and there'll just be more tools for anybody that signs up. And signing up for Podio and for our training here is all free, so, you know, sign up just means you have access, doesn't mean you have to get your credit card out and start paying money. Right, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So what do you think about, tell me something, what's your opinion here about free training compared to thousands of dollars worth of training? Is that a dumb question?
There should be more people on this webinar with us right now.
Yeah, there should. And if I start using Social Zing to market it and really put it out there, we'll get more people. Right now, what we're doing is we're getting a lot of stuff just recorded and up there. But you're right, Victor. The more people that realize that this is free, you know, the more people that will show up. But even, you know, even if it's free, and a lot of people know, it takes a special type of person like you, Victor, and like you, Manny, who are really dedicated to your success and realize that it's just not a get-rich-quick, and that you do have to put the time and effort into it, and you do have to get the education. And that's why when you are in this business and you've been around all these real estate people and gurus, they keep saying the same thing over and over again, and that is, if you will do for 5 years what most people won't do, you can do the rest of your life which most people can't do. And I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys so I get the noise out of the background. The reason, you know, they say, let me see if I can mute all here. The reason they say, you know, if you'll do for 5 years what most people won't do, and you can do the rest of your life what most people can't do. Most people can do this, it's just that most people won't. And once they finally decide, you know, I mean, they could say in a minute, well, I could do that. Well, sure, they could, but it's still going to take them probably 5 years to get good enough at it to make it successful. And so, you know, once you put your 5 years in and you look back, you'll go, oh my God, I've learned something that I'll never forget. It's like riding a bicycle. I could lose everything. I could go broke completely, file bankruptcy, and I can jump right back on that bike, because once you've learned how to ride a bike, you never forget it. And although you might be a little rusty if you haven't been on it for a while, you pick it up really quick. That's something that people will never be able to take away from you once you've spent the time and you got the education, you know it. You can jump right back in the business, build yourself back up, and you know, if we do this right and we really get it down, you'll realize, especially with the training that I'm putting out here, is that I'm telling people, do not spend your money. Do not, you know, go out there and get yourself in debt on loans. You know, everybody goes bankrupt from having these loans they can't afford to pay because the rents aren't making it. The mortgage, you know, the properties have declined in value, and all of a sudden you've got rents that you can't make the mortgage payments on, so you have to let the properties go. But if those properties are paid for free and clear, it doesn't matter if the nation went into a huge 20-year depression, people are going to have to rent. And it doesn't matter if those properties go from $100,000 value down to zero. That's all paper anyway, as long as we don't have a mortgage payment we have to pay. If the people were paying $800 a month and we had to actually lower the rents to $400 a month, we could afford to do it because there's no mortgage. We'd never go broke. We would never lose these properties. And the truth is, in hard times, the rents actually go up because everybody can't get a loan. They can't do anything else. It forces more people into rentals. That forces the rental market up. So, you know, what we're doing here is learning how to avoid all those pitfalls of people going into foreclosure and bankruptcy. So, you know, just don't spend the money. Even when you start making it, always act as though you have none and you're broke, and learn how to use other people's money instead of your money, and make sure that you give those other people enough value that they'd want to come back and do it again, again, and again. If they're not coming back, you're doing something wrong, we're doing something wrong. We need to get smart about how we make it worth people's time to let us use their money by giving them a good return on their money so that it saves their time, they can go back and do what they enjoy doing, and we give them a good return. So that's kind of what we've got going on here with, you know, this whole thing, Santa Barbara, you know, RIA meetings where we meet We want to make sure that people are learning this, so we will be back January. And as a matter of fact, in January, our first meeting, if I pull this off right, we're going to have Dr. Greg Teft come in, and he's going to speak to us about health issues and about how we could live to be 130 or 160 years old. This is going to be very interesting information. We'll have him there. I fully expect to have my lender there, who just told me today in an email that we got qualified finally. We have set our goals for a whole year in the year 2014 that revolved around 3 top goals for my wife and I. And one of them in there was to refinance our rental property and our primary property, which is very, very difficult for us to do because we have our businesses where we try to show as little income as possible with as much write-off as possible, which is great tax-wise to get a lot of money back at the end of the year, like $10,000. But it's devastating to try and get a loan because the lenders will come up and go, oh, no, 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 we're not going to give you a loan with all that kind of, write-offs and debt and everything else. You're not showing enough income. Plus, it's too scary because you've got all these properties. Very difficult for people like us and, running your own business to get loans. And in this whole recession thing with the mortgage business and what's happening is any mortgage person will tell you today that mortgages are way harder to get than they ever have been. They've passed laws, federal laws, that go nationally to scrutinize each and every little thing that people are doing before they can qualify for a loan. So it is very difficult. Well, we just got approved. That was one of our 3 top goals, and it took a whole year to get through that. And, we've only got a couple weeks left of December of 2014, and we're going to go close those 2 loans of refinancing this coming week. So this is like, yee-haw. We've been actually trying for about 3 or 4 years to do this, but specifically really hard the last year, put it in as the main goal. So that's one of them. We're getting it. He's going to be there. I'm also bringing in my guy by the name of Jerry Gallegos, who is above me on the socializing marketing, is going to speak for about a half hour in January. This is I think January 24th, last week of January 2015. So this is going to be a great meeting with a lot of good information. So I suggest, you be there. So we're going to go on and talk about Podio. Okay, so what is Podio? Why training on Citrix Podio? Okay, so Citrix, you probably haven't heard who Citrix is, but you have heard of GoToMeeting and GoToMyPC and all that kind of stuff. Well, they do GoToMeeting, which we're using right now, and they also make this product called Podio. What is Podio? Podio is a CRM. If you've ever heard of people talking about CRM, it's a customer relations manager. You might hear it as client resource management, customer relations manager. It is a database way of tracking your leads and your sales and training and everything that can be put on there. So it is very, very powerful, and the reason I went with it is because it is very, very free and inexpensive, and I figured out how to make it even more inexpensive. Podio is free for the end user, so I've got Victor and Manny and other people on it, and they don't pay a dime to be on it, and they can, get to my training that I have, plus they can use a portion of it to create their own stuff for free. And if they ever want to start sharing their stuff with other people, they'd actually have to host it and start paying $9 a month to be able to host it for other people like I do. Well, when I first headed down this path, I ended up talking to the people at Citrix, and they said, yeah, it's $9 for you and $9 a month for each user, and you have to pay the $9 a month for each user. So if you had 100 users, it would be $9 times 100 or $900. I looked at that and I went, oh my God, this could be really, really expensive. And so I got to talking to them and I said, well, what does it mean to have a company, to have a person using it within your company and have to pay the $9 for each person who uses it? And their reply was, well, they have to be in the same domain as you. And I said, oh, you mean like nationalhomebuyers.com? My email is Dan Ringwald at nationalhomebuyers.com or NHBllc.com, same thing. And they said, yes, correct. And I said, so that is what you consider them to be as an employee? And they said, yes. And I said, so you mean to tell me that if I didn't employ them and they were coming to me on Podio through Hotmail or Gmail or Yahoo or some other email domain, that they could come in for free and I could host them for free and give them access for free, and it wouldn't cost them anything, it wouldn't cost me anything, and I would only pay $9 per month to do that? And they said, that's correct. And I went, oh my God, you just gave me the key. I could have 1,000 people nationwide coming into Podio and training them and working through all this stuff, and it would only cost me $9 a month, and it would be free for all of them. That's incredible. You're not going to find any kind of relational database out there, any kind of customer relations manager program out there that would let you do that. I talked to an employee of Citrix in Santa Barbara, because Citrix is based right in Goleta, which is just, 10 miles above Santa Barbara City, city of Goleta, right by the beach. And he was a salesperson for Citrix and told me, Dan, he's out of the company now, told me, Dan, they're not quite sure what to do with Citrix because they're not quite sure how to make money with Citrix, and they're still playing around with it because they bought it from some company and it's part of their company now. And, I don't think they're going to get rid of it. And, of course, I've talked to their support and they said, no, they're not going to get rid of it. But they still haven't quite figured out how to make money off of it because, one, it's too complicated for most people to use, and two, they just don't quite know how to charge people for it. Well, my advice is stop letting me do things like I'm doing where I can get 1,000 people on there for free, and that's really stupid for Citrix to be doing that. I hope they never listen to this recording. I've tried to get them to come out and speak at our Santa Barbara. I haven't been successful. They like what I'm doing with the GoToMeeting stuff, GoToMeetMe pages that I have. I've kind of been featured on their website for doing that. But my advice to them, which I would never tell them, is to stop doing what they're doing on Podio, because who in their right mind would let 1,000 people sign up for free and do what I'm doing? I just don't think they have a clue that, very many people are doing it, and probably very many people aren't. They kind of geared it for a large company. Like maybe you were a research company and you had 500 employees and they were all on that same domain name. You'd pay that kind of money, and those people would pay that kind of money for that because they're a big company. They can afford to do it and still be cheaper than it would be for them to try to implement this software themselves. They don't think of people like me in small business doing something in a big way. And, I really haven't done this in a huge, big way where I've got 1,000 people on. But it's conceivable, it's possible, and people can do it right now. So if you're out there, this is a place to do it, Podio. So that's how you get this whole thing so inexpensively. Podio is really kind of like having apps for your cell phone. So every time you get on your cell phone and you want an app for driving, or you want an app for eating to find out where the best restaurants are, or gasoline, or hooking up to electric EV cars, where to charge. They have apps like that for Podio, and they've got people developing those apps, for charge or for free, however they do it. And you just pick one of those apps and plug it into your Podio and say, I'm going to use this, and kind of expand on it and modify it a little bit and make it work. And none of this stuff you have to be a programmer. It's just copy and paste, just like you would upload an app to your cell phone. That's what's going on with Podio. They have that too. So let's go take a quick look here. Before we get into Podio and look at that screen, we'll take a quick look on, well, what if you're working with me here at NHBig, which stands for National Home Buyers Investors Group. What do you get? In fact, Victor's been working with us for quite a while, and he's been running down the road of getting this big money coming in from these big deals so much he hasn't even looked back to see some of the things that we offer here. We're going to get him going, Michael, my son, and I will get him going on some of this stuff. Free training, free real estate training, and we're talking free, and the reason I do it for free when most people don't is because I want to build long-term relationships. The companies that go out and charge people $5,000 or $10,000 or $25,000 for training, yeah, they get a lot of money, but they get a one-shot deal. because once those people are through and they don't really make any money in the business, they just got the education, and then the company says, give us your credit card for more charges, and the people get burnt out and say no, they leave, they don't go back, that's the end of the relationship, they're gone. Those companies are really running two businesses. They're running a real estate business, which makes them money. There's really no connection between their real estate business and their education business. They're running an education business which rakes in a whole lot of money on education, burning people out with credit card debt. And when the people leave and don't come back, they just go out and they advertise for more people, and they just keep running these people through, and people just keep paying and leaving and never coming back. And there's no real connection between the two companies. And, you know, they just get what they get, and people are gone and think this doesn't work. Well, personally, I don't agree. I don't like it. And I do this for free because I want to build long-term relationships so that when people head down this road, they don't keep running into the credit card roadblock and going, oh, I can't do any more with Dan because I don't have any left on my credit card. I think I'll just go get a job someplace else. That's not happening. If people leave me for a few weeks and come back, great. If they leave for a few months and come back, great. If they leave for a year or two and come back, great, whatever. The people like Victor and Manny who are going to stay on this thing and move forward and make it happen are the people that are really getting the value out of this, and the people who I'm really looking to build long-term relationships with. And when I say long-term, I'm really talking about relationships that extend and expand beyond our lifetime, meaning that my son and daughter might help Victor's son and daughter with their business and their real estate long after Victor and I are dead and gone. You know, we're raising daisies. And so, you know, although it may not be the same properties, it'll be the same structure, same business, same whatever, and our kids, generation after generation, can run this business because we spent the time learning and passing it on. You know, my son's 23, and I've got him helped out, set up with his LLC, Michael V LLC, and he's starting to build the michaelvllc.com website, putting his properties on there in his business. I've got him signed up underneath me, and I've got Linda Pliaga signed up underneath him. So, you know, and my daughter too, she's got the Alana Lee LLC. She's got 4 properties paid for free and clear in her LLC now. So these are the kind of things that we will do and learn how to do and pass on for generations. And just like riding a bike, you know, once you learn this stuff and you get it, it doesn't matter how many laws that the government changes. All that stuff at the government level and at all that corporate level is so big and so slow that we can easily maneuver around them and do whatever we need to do to continue to be successful in this business. As long as we learn and stay on top of it, you know, we can do that and make some good money, a good living, and not have to go in a cubicle, you know, in somebody's business and work for them. We'll create our own dream. So we have free real estate training, wholesaling properties, joint venture on the low end, and contract assignments on the high end. How well Victor's good at learning this business. So Victor, what we have here are these cards. You can see on the left side, we've got a picture of the NHB LLC. Why sell? Turn it into a business. Vacant properties, we can give them a card, mail it to them. And on the back side, it's got more information. Let us do all the work, pay all the expenses. You collect the rents. They're going to get half the rents and half the profits when we sell. It's already vacant. We'll put, you know, you put your name on there, Victor, your phone number. We'll give you an extension to this toll-free number. So we have business credibility. Business credibility is the biggest thing we have to offer, because that's something that takes years. I've been working in this business for 30 years, and Victor's really good at talking to people on the phone. One of the things that calms those people down is when he's able to say that he's working with his partner, Dan Ringwald, at nationalhomebuyerslllc.com, and also runs and owns the Santa Barbara Real Estate Investors Association, SBREIA.com. When they have a chance to go back and look at that, they kind of get this feeling that, oh, okay, so Victor's working with him, and these people have been doing this. They got a lot going on. So, you know, there's credibility. I think I can trust Victor. He's working with a good team that I can see online. I'm going to go ahead and see where this takes me. And we have to work through a few kinks and, some things. But, interestingly enough, I think Victor would probably be the first one to admit that it seems like working with people on the high end with a lot of money is actually easier than working with people on the low end, because people on the high end get it financially, and they're less likely to be worried about the assignment fees and whatnot, because it's kind of peanuts compared to what the $6.5 million property is. $20,000 is a whole lot of money for people on the low end that don't have much money, and that's the whole price of buying one of these joint venture properties. So imagine somebody just saying, well, here's $20,000 for helping me sell this house, and we don't even have to put a dime out of our pocket to be able to do that. Credibility, it's a big thing to help boost somebody like Victor, somebody like Manny. Once they've done this enough, they eventually get their websites up and they're doing their own business, they'll have the credibility from doing past stuff with me, and hopefully we can still do some things. I'll continue to change whatever I need to keep those people in close relationship with me moving forward. So we have postcards, we have business cards, we've got contracts, we've got toll-free numbers where they get a toll-free number, voicemail, thousands of free leads nationwide on vacant properties, cash buyers, motivated sellers, private lenders. Most of that type of stuff that I just mentioned there comes from Kent Clothier Find Motivated Sellers Now websites. You can go there, you can sign up for it, you can pay the money, or you can get it here for free from us. We'll give it to you for free. Whatever you need, a lead, we'll give you thousands of leads on any city, location, state in the U.S. Because I've already paid the money for all these resources, all this software. We're talking about $5,000 worth of business software in the back end. I've paid for it. You get access to for free, and we'll continue to get access until you decide to move on, do your own business. Go-to-meeting, weekly training. We've got Podio wholesale management. That's what we're getting into now. Online, your own private workspace, websites to list your properties, because you're using our websites to list properties if you need to. Free tech support between me and my son Michael, who's had his fingers on the keyboard of both Macintosh and PC computers since he was 2 years old, has a lot of tech savvy to be able to help everybody out in this business, and getting a lot of real estate savvy. One of the things I don't even have on in here is marketing. Now you're going to have marketing support through Social Zing Marketing. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end of all this. How many SB REI members in this room? Well, we're not in the room right now, but we've got a number of them that are on there from our Santa Barbara area working with us, going through this training. So all you have to do is call me, 805-967-6595, get signed up, go for free, and off we go. So what does Podio look like? Oh, gee, we're still trying to get there. Okay, here's an example of some websites. If you own a property and want to advertise it on, my managed websites like this property management, you can. That's buildium.com. Oh, so what we're going to do is get out of this for a little bit, and then we're going to go into, the website stuff. Here is Podio. So this is what Podio looks like once you've logged in. I have set up on Podio this account for coaching. Now, if you click on the upper left-hand side where these three lines are, you'll see that I've got a number of different accounts for Podio, and even more. I can expand that. And these are all the different members that I have on here and different locations I have on here for this training for different things. But this one in particular is the NHBig, which stands for National Home Buyers Investors Group. And in here, if we take a look, this is our activity page. We've got all these applications that I was talking about, like a cell phone. Meetings, scripts, leads, links, commercial, clients, members, FAQ, help. This is where you add it. You just click on add an app, and just like adding an app to your cell phone, you can add an app for free on Podio. And that's what I've been doing here, is adding these apps. So we're going to go through a few of these. First of all, we'll take a look at the clients. Right now we have 29 members that are signed up for our Podio coaching. And whenever I email something, here's an example of all the different people that we've got signed up here. As we scroll down, all these people can come in here for free, get free access to any of this Podio information that we've got going on. And when I click on the activity link on the left over here, up pops back up this information. And if you ever want to communicate to me and the group, and out of 29 people, you could just click on this little link here, share something. This goes to everybody. Now, we have people set up with their own individual Podio accounts, and when they want to communicate with me individually, they need to post right here at this location in their own account, but they want to submit a post to everybody so that they can kind of network with everybody. That would be the place to do it right here. Just, you know, hello all, and as soon as I click that in there, we are recording our live, okay, Saturday meeting now, and then just boom, click that and then click share. That goes out to everybody, all those 29 people, and it shows up down here. So everybody's going to see that on their emails. So that information is kind of historical information that's down here. You can get back to it and see some of these things that we've typed in the past. And the other thing that we've got is a meetings calendar. So if we click on meetings calendar, this comes over, opens up to the meetings calendar, and you can have this look in different ways. You can have it look like that, or if we click on the meetings calendar, it opens up. And this is December 6th. Actually, we're at the 13th now, so I'll go ahead and click that. And anytime I want to put anything in here on the meetings, what we'll do is get in here, and this is what we just basically talked about last week, which was properties. So you can get back in there and you can look at that recording that we have online. And so today, which is the 13th, we are talking about NHBig Podio. And so we are recording this, and we'll put that back on the on the National Home Buyers site. So if you come over here to National Home Buyers, here is our National Home Buyers website. National Home Buyers LLC, Real Estate Investing Made Easy, Turnkey and Rent-Ready Properties. That's the main website. So you go down there and you can see all the different information we've got on here, past videos that I've done that explain this business and what's going on. And when you click on the link bar here to We Sell Homes, that brings you over to this. Well, actually, We Sell Homes. Meetings, let's talk about meetings. Click on the meetings link. That brings you over here to the meetings. That's what we're doing right now. And there's our past meetings. You can see what we've done here in the past. And you can see, you know, last week was properties for sale. So I'll add today's to this. You can get back to these things from the past. And we will continue on with what we're doing here. And it shows you all this information on the calendar stuff. Okay? So now what we're going to do is go back to our NHBig coaching in Podio and take a look at the next link here. And the next link we've got on here is scripts. And it says here, how to information steps on sales scripts, finding property, owners, cash buyers, private lenders, and more. So this is all the scripts that we're setting up for people to come in here. They can look at this and, you know, be able to get a real good idea how to run this business right from the scripts. So we click on scripts and it runs over there. And up pops our script section. And in here we've got scripts on cash buyers 1, cash buyers 2, cash buyers 3, sellers 1, 2, and 3, vacant properties 1, 2, and 3. So anytime you get in here, we'll move this over a little bit. For instance, if we click on cash buyer 1, locating, well, we'll click on that, and as it comes in here, you'll be able to run down this, and all the information that you need on how to locate these cash buyers are in here. Okay, and what to say. So there's not a whole lot of that one, so let's come back down to 2, the questions. Okay, so in here, the different questions that you might be asking and talking to the people, there you go. This is something you can print out, and you can ask these different people this information, some general information we're going to need to talk to people about, when they sell their home. Investors, sellers, cash buyers. We'll come back over here. See the information that we've got down here. A lot of good information on how to do this business. And then let's say vacant properties. Steps for locating vacant properties. Let's come down here and take a quick look at that. So number one, you can see we've got a lot of information here about vacant properties. And for instance, we even post signs out there in front of the homes if we have to. So here's an example. Here's an example of my sign with my name on there. So if we click on that, it'll take you over there and show you for sale by owner or rent. Call Dan with my number, extension. They'll get a recorded message that talk about all this information. And all this information about how to do this business is on the website for Podio. So all you have to do is get back in there, take a look at it, and away you go. It shows up. You dig in there to the training, and it's all free. You do have to have an account. You do have to get signed up. So once I've talked to you, we've got your name, we've got your phone number, we've got the information that we need. We can get you signed up. We can get you in there, and away we go. So I'm going to take a quick look just to make sure that there's nothing I'm missing here. Okay, no messages, no text or anything. I want to make sure that people can still hear me, things are still working, because I noticed the site was getting a little bit slow there. I'm going to run a quick computer test here to see if the site is pinging. And it is pinging, and it's pinging pretty heavily, which means it's going slow. So I suspect that we have something going on that's slowing it down. Well, we're good. It's kind of going up and down. So hopefully this recording comes out okay. That's a nice thing about using GoToMeetings, is that it records what's happening here locally on my computer and not the internet. So I think we should be okay. So those are our scripts, and notice that when we do get into the scripts, especially when we start talking about vacant properties, locating letters, we actually have phone call scripts, locating question ads, leads. Okay, so we're through with the scripts. Let's go over here to our leads. Now what you're going to see under leads is that we can pull up leads for thousands of properties nationwide. So as we go down here, we can see leads for Santa Barbara County, Ventura, San Francisco, San Diego, Reno, and you'll notice in here, if I expand this out a little bit, that, let me pull this out here a little bit too, that here we have 185 cash buyers. Down here we've got 1,370 cash buyers in Reno, Nevada. Now this was from 1/1/14 to 7/26, so that's a few months back. We can update that. So if you're looking at this stuff and you say, hey Dan, I really want to work the Reno area, I want you to update that list between Michael and myself, we can run back out to Kent Closure website and we can download thousands of more leads, throw it back up on here, and then once you click on this, we'll go ahead and click on it and get into it. It opens up this page. Then you come over here, you click on this file, and then you download it. And once it's downloaded to your computer, you have the leads. You've got the 1,000 leads or whatever it is that you need, and away you go. So this is really, really powerful from the standpoint that it's very organized, lots of information, lots of leads, all over the place. Out of state, there's Fort Wayne. We've got leads in Fort Wayne, Dayton, Ohio, Riverside, San Bernardino. So, we can just add to these leads all day long as much as you need. Commercial, We've got a little bit going here on commercial properties. Haven't spent a whole lot of time doing commercial properties, but we do have some information there. Members, we do have a section here that you can fill out information about being a member. We haven't done much there. We do have, and a few people have. We've got the FAQ, so frequently asked questions. So we have a few locations in Podio about that. And help, we've got a location here for help. And then I think I skipped over our links section because I think we have a number of links in here. So whenever, like Manny just mentioned, mapittiv.com, I'll come in here and put that in here as well as a link. So anytime you get in here, you know, one of the things that we do for our members is say, hey, look, I know you don't want to spend a whole lot of money. So what is the least expensive way you can get out here and do some of this business? Well, here we have free stuff like free credit repair, free phone calls. So if you were to jump on this page, there would be a whole page in here devoted to how do you get to links and information about doing this business for free and make free phone calls. And here it is. Here's all these different links. Here's all this information about how can you get on your computer and do all this stuff like free data access, internet access, all this information about ways to save you money and have you do this business for free without it costing you a lot of money. So we offer the free training. We offer access to information about how to get all these services for free. And we also can even provide some level of tech support. If you're having computer problems, you know, kind of gets you going there too. In fact, Victor was very happy. He had a desktop computer. He was having lots of problems with it. Multiple people getting on there, messing things up, lots of viruses. And so we showed him a Google Chrome laptop, Chromebook. And you know, you can't download anything on there. It can't get viruses. It's very quick. He's very happy. He's thrilled. That's what he's been on, you know, for the last month or so, and he's on it right now, working fine, getting to these Podio go-to meetings and this information. So all this stuff has been very, very helpful for education and getting people going. So we're kind of getting at the end of our meeting about Podio and how we run this business. I'm going to pull back over and see if we've still got anybody on the line. It looks like we do. I'm going to unmute this. And Manny and Victor, are you guys still there?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you guys for hanging in there. I know you guys know all about Podio because you've been on here for months with me. Is there anything that you'd like to say about Podio and having used this system?
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I like it. It's easy. It makes it easier.
Easy, makes it easy. It's got, you know, things kind of organized in there. Have you guys ever come across anything that gives this much information and this kind of power for free?
No.
Yeah, I haven't either. So, you know, to be able to do all this and get it all for free is pretty amazing. So I'm glad that you guys are with me and you're using these tools, and we'll continue to expand on it. I think you, Victor, can see that we've got some things we've got to set up for you that, you know, you didn't even realize we have. And we talked about that a week back or so with Michael. So we'll get you going with the cards, the business cards, the postcards, the 800 number. You know, we were signing people up with 800 numbers right from the get-go, and all of a sudden, after a few months, Michael and I looked at each other and went, wow, we're wasting a whole lot of time because there's a lot of people that aren't doing anything, and we spend all this time setting them up with 800 numbers and doing all this stuff. Let's just quit doing that until they show us they're actually serious. And Victor, you're obviously serious. Manny, you're serious. We can give you guys full access to all this stuff. Other people are going to have to spend a little bit of time showing us they're serious before we actually give them all the tools that we have to provide for free. Otherwise, it's just a big waste of our time. So you guys have earned it. You know, any of the stuff you want, just get back to us. We'll implement it and get you going.
Well, thank you, Dan.
You
nice, yeah, I really appreciate it.
You got it. You got it. So I want to thank you guys for being on the line here. Victor, you and I are going to regroup before the day is up and continue on making sure that our contracts are getting back to the high-end deals that we've got. Isn't it interesting, Victor, that the more money these people have, the easier they are to work with? Isn't that kind of the feeling that you're getting?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know, through my whole experience from beginning and to now, and, you know, just on the different levels that everybody's on, and I'm just gaining experience, and, you know, it's been really great. So I'm just really excited for this next coming year and everything else, and I'm definitely up for teaching and helping anyone else that's, you know, just as motivated to get stuff and, you know, get some contracts going.
Wow, that's really a big gift, Victor. I really, really appreciate you saying that you're willing to help some other people like that because, you know, for people that are just starting, it's kind of hard for them to imagine and believe it can even happen, and you're picking it up so fast and moving ahead so fast that you and I have worked with people on contracts down in the $150,000 range, and wouldn't you say that those people were way more difficult to deal with than this guy for $6.5 million?
Extremely difficult. They should work at the DMV.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it just goes to show you that as people typically make more money, they're people that realize, you know, what it takes, and they become kind of more relaxed and more happy, and, you know, life is wonderful. And the people that are down at the bottom, you kind of think, you know, in the reverse direction, and you might think in your mind, well, of course they're more difficult because they don't have very much money, therefore they have to be much more careful and everything else. It's their attitude, really, that is keeping them at the low end and making the fact that they have very little money stay at very little money. Once, you know, you start getting a lot more personal development training and realizing that it's just an attitude, it actually makes it easier to make more money. But that's a lot of training, and it's a lot of kind of habit. It's a way of retraining your mind to think, a way of giving up old habits and moving on with new habits. And you pretty much have to force yourself. And I guarantee you the guy with the $6.5 million property has spent a lot of years in the past learning these things to be able to get to where he is right now, to be as happy and as friendly and as easy to get along with as he is. So I'm very happy, Victor, that you are seeing the difference in what it's like to work with people with very little money compared to the people with a lot of money, and realizing, wow, so you mean to tell me that working with people with a lot of money is more fun, it's easier, and you make more money doing that? Wow, that's kind of like a no-brainer. Why didn't I ever do this sooner?
Yeah.
So I think, Victor, you'll be spending a lot more time, you know, working in that area as you move forward. We certainly will continue.
Definitely.
Okay, good. We will certainly continue to work on the low end with the joint venture properties. And what will happen, Victor, is as you make more money and you start getting more money into your accounts and you start looking to actually do joint venture properties as a form of stable, ongoing cash flow every month, you'll go back to working some of the lower end properties, you know, 20 to 30,000, and I'm kind of calling them anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000, and then anything above that is kind of the higher end properties that we just do an assignment on. So I want to thank you guys so much for being here. We're at 12 o'clock. We're kind of done. Anything you guys have to say before we hang this one up?
No, it was great. Got good information, and yeah, definitely go. I'll get back to you at the end of the day. And Manny, go ahead and reach out to me anytime.
Definitely, yeah, appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you both for being on the call. I look forward to seeing you guys make that connection and having that make a difference in Manny's life, because I know it will. And Manny, we understand you're going to UCSB. You know, your time has been really taken, and you're going to be heading down the road doing this full time here in a not very short amount of time. It's going to be quick.
Yeah.
So we're going to love to have you on the team and love to have, you know, working with you, and we'll be there to support you and get you going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I've just been focusing on finding cash buyers, but now I need to switch the gears and get our properties, you know?
Yeah, and I would say specifically talk to Victor about building your locator teams, because you know what Victor and I kind of discovered here recently is you actually can give those locators $500 referral fee once you get onto the bigger properties, because if we're doing $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 properties, we end up splitting that. You know, Victor will get half of it, I'll get half of it, and we'll end up splitting the fee as well, and you won't even have to deal with the 1099 or anything. What will happen is, let's say it's $5,000 and we split that, you get $2,500, or you get $2,500, I get $2,500. Then what we do is we take $225 out of that each, and then I'll write a $500 check to your locator who helped us locate that property, and that's how they'll get paid, and you won't even have to deal with the 1099, and you won't care about giving them $500 because you'll be making so much, so what?
Yeah, definitely.
And
all right, looking forward.
Yeah, that'll help build your teams, and Victor can kind of give you a little word on that too. So thank you guys for being here. I will be talking to you through the week, and let's make 2015 rock.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Ready.
All right. Have a good Saturday.
All right. You guys too. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Great day. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.
All right. Goodbye.
Okay, we're going to end this recording here. Stop recording.